What's good, y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. So, yo, look, it's Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? We halfway through the week. How are y'all feeling? You know, I always got to ask, checking on y'all, see how y'all feeling, how y'all doing physically, emotionally, spiritually. You feel me? Mentally. How are y'all? Leave it in the comments and I'm going to talk back with y'all. You feel me? We halfway through the week, but we almost done with the year. And we only got 2 more months left. You know what I mean? 2 more months. So let's make them count. You know what I'm saying? If there's things that you wanted to do, that you've been putting off all year, let's get to it. Write down them goals. Get you a whiteboard today. Go to a little Staples, Office Depot, Office Max, wherever you could go to. Get you a whiteboard. Start writing down your ideas, all that stuff that's in your notes. Start getting it out of your head, getting it on the paper, manifesting and putting the work behind it, and it's going to happen. But today, we talking about T.I., Young Dro, and K-Dub, their homie that they brought up to the Breakfast Club with him. So, yo, look, they all, T.I. and Dro, they visited, the Breakfast Club. T.I., the biggest news with him right now is that $71 million lawsuit that him and his family won against LOL, you know what I mean, for them taking the likeness of the OMG girls or whatever. T.I. got a lot going on, I'm not going to say he just became a grandfather because I don't know if T.I. has another grandkid. But salute to him, salute to my man Damani. He just became a dad. But they were having some conversation, and while it was fun for a second, it turned left for a very, very small moment. It started out, T.I. and Dro, Dro talking about his journey with sobriety. He had overdosed on fentanyl, well, a Percocet pill that he didn't know was fentanyl, you know what I'm saying? And he had been going through some tough times. And in this moment, he's trying to explain himself and talk about his journey. And his man over in the corner, he keeps laughing, which, I mean, honestly, I've been a part of an entourage before. I've been a part of the management that's led the entourage. I've been like every single person, every single player in the room at one time or another, other than being an artist, right? But while they're having this conversation, you know what I'm saying, this sideline conversation now I'm playing, but while they're having this conversation, they're joking, and I think that, there was a moment where the jokes were permissible. But then it took a little bit of a turn and it got serious for a second. When Young Dro was talking about, his daughter being on drugs and, his man in the corner, he still felt, I don't know if, I'm not going to necessarily say he felt the need to laugh. Maybe he couldn't, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and maybe he couldn't control himself in that moment and he still laughed. But this is the reason why when it comes to you going in places and going in rooms, and of course, I don't know these brothers. I don't know their dynamic. I do know T.I. to an extent. You know what I mean? We do got a good, cordial relationship. But this is why, to a certain extent, you got to leave the homies outside of the room, right? When people are inside of a room with you, it's not what people traveling with you, but when people is inside of a room with you, and this is advice to all the young up-and-coming artists and managers, right? Everybody has to play a role. I don't know the role that he played, that this brother played sitting in the corner, but the role that he was playing, if it was a shot for him to hit, he definitely missed. You know what I'm saying? He definitely missed. Now, I think, even with him laughing initially, you can't be the person laughing in the room because now you're creating a distraction. They own a large platform. They're not going to edit this out. Everything that happens is going to go. And now that you're laughing, you then took the attention off of the interview and the seriousness of the conversation, and you made light of it, which, I'm pretty sure they do laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, Dro, you was a junkie. Like, I'm pretty sure they throw a lot of jokes at one another pertaining to a situation like this. But then when he starts talking about his daughter, and I think that was the trigger for him. You know what I'm saying? Dro starts talking about his daughter, which I'm pretty sure he loves his daughter very much, and saying that she was on drugs. And then he starts laughing again. Then he starts saying how he would slap him. And then they start having a back and forth. And then T.I. reminded everybody, the reason why y'all ain't here is because y'all with me. So the reason why he said that is like, yeah, don't forget how the hell anybody's in this room. Y'all here on my name. Don't mess up nothing on my name. You feel me? So I think that when you are, and like I said, I'm saying this again because I don't know this brother. I don't know what role he plays, but you got to be willing to say, I'm going to sit this one out. Sit outside. You don't need to be in the room because unless you're a part of the label and T.I. or Dro is mentioning you or you play some significant role in what it is they're talking about, there's actually no need for you to be in the room. I think the people that's supposed to be in the room, I know the people that's supposed to be in the room is all the people that's working. And let me tell you something. I got horror stories. I remember one time I was on the road, and it's not necessarily a horror story, but I was on the road and we on tour, and there's an artist that I'm working with, and we on like a promo tour, and his friend, we in 7-Eleven, and his friend steals a lighter. You know what I'm saying? His friend steals a lighter. Now, think about it like this. For one, nobody shouldn't be stealing nothing, let alone a lighter that probably costs $1. Even if it costs $5, I don't smoke, so I don't know what lighters cost. But whatever the lighter costs, you should not be stealing it, because now we in another town. While you might think it ain't that serious where we from, we somewhere out of town, and people might take shit super duper serious in other places. You know what I'm saying? And at the point where you take something, now you putting everybody else in jeopardy. Or when you on a roll and, you know what I'm saying, your homie, he got a chick that he don't know, he ain't never met her before, she pulling up, now she's around, every time she turn around, she acting like she on her phone, but she really doing this, recording everything, getting private conversations and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I think that, again, if you're going to be a part of somebody's party on the road, you got to know the role that you're playing, and you got to know where you stand. You feel me? And it's not permissible for you to just be in the rooms. Like, you really shouldn't be in the rooms. Now, other than that, today, let's talk about metrics and sales. So, there's a famous line by Jay-Z back in, I think, 2005, 2006. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And it was like to combat when Jim Jones and Cam, well, I think Jim and Cam, they both went at Jay-Z at different points in their career. But Jay was basically saying like how his numbers, he does numbers in this, that, and the third. And ever since that moment, I mean, prior to that, 50 popularized. I feel like he's the artist that popularized what numbers mean into the minds of like consumers, because he was the first artist I seen sell 1 million records, you know what I mean, on his album, physical copies, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that energy could be duplicated today the way things work. But now we in a time where people who make great music and make meaningful music, it's never about their music. It's all about what they sold. I think sometimes when people look at the numbers, and I'm going to put a lot of this on my bro Academics, you know what I'm saying? Because Academics, he is the self-proclaimed pocket watcher, and he always talking about people numbers. And I think that the numbers do put some sort of gauge, right? They put a gauge on what people are into, but they don't define what music is. If you look at Akon's first album, you know what I'm saying? I think it sold 3,500 or 3,800 the first week. It went on to sell like millions, maybe 3 or 4 million. You look at Juvenile, you know what I mean? 400 Degrees. That joint sold 5,000 physical copies the first week, went on to sell 5 million, and ended up being a critically acclaimed classic album in all of hip hop, not just on some South shit. So today, we got Glorilla. She put out her project and it's on pace to sell 60,000, which I don't think that's wrong. And people always say, well, albums, who buys albums? What they mean is that listening to streams equivalent to sales. So who made up these metrics though? You know what I'm saying? Who made up these numbers? That's the real Illuminati. That's the ones that y'all don't never talk about because y'all don't know their names, and y'all don't never assume nothing about them because y'all don't know their names. But y'all put all of this stuff on Jay-Z's controlling this, and this person, and Diddy's doing this, and that person's doing that. But the numbers, right? Who made up the idea that 1,250 streams counted as one sale? So I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of albums that I bought in my lifetime as a kid physically. I don't know if I've listened to them 1,250 times. You know what I mean? Like, and I've probably listened to songs a whole lot of times, but 1,250 times to listen to one thing to count it as one sale is kind of ridiculous. But then you ask, right, like, what's the metric? Because then if you start changing it, people start having these crazy, ridiculous numbers, and then the numbers legitimize the money, and then we all in this cluster F of, like, what is going on? So Tusi, you know what I mean, he put out a project, and his project is on pace to sell 16,000. And Tusi, you know what I mean, his last record, his single was way bigger than that, you know what I'm saying? But he went on, you know what I mean, people starting to criticize him over him selling 16,000, and because I think he said something about like he would quit rap. Yeah, he said he would quit rap if he didn't sell 20K. But he said, all right, joke's over. Wrap this shit up by tomorrow. I just went 50 Billboard top 200 on a mixtape. Don't let the jokes fool you. Stay blessed. So, now he's defending himself. But the reason why he has to defend himself is because he put that on himself to say, if I don't sell this, I'm gonna do this. Where like we don't know what anything is gonna sell. You know what I mean? When I was a kid and I was growing up, I always get this analogy of I didn't know what DMX first week sales was. You know what I mean? I didn't know what Jay-Z's first week sales was. I was just into the music. I don't know what the Fugees, the Score sold. I don't know what End of the 36 Chambers sold. I don't know what the Chronic sold the first week. I mean, granted, so I'm a kid at the time when these projects is dropping, and my concern is not really for what they're selling. I mean, if you're in the business, of course, it's all about the sales because it's all about business. But at the same time, I think that the metric needs to change. But how do we do it, right? Like, do they create? And I think they tried to do that with Spotify, like a Proud to Pay, basically campaign where you can donate or give money directly to the artist. But then the platforms, which are basically the stores, which are Spotify is with a Tower Records, you know what I'm saying, or Apple is like the Virgin mega store that was in Times Square. These worldwide platforms now determine like what people get. So if you trying to give them money, now they want to eat off that money too. Music is art. Art is subjective, and we cook. Yo, this is what I do it myself. Let me tell y'all something. We getting back to doing tour guide. I'm working on a new set. My set is almost done, but when I do tour guide, I don't want to start doing tour guide and y'all see this blue background and y'all expect certain types of content. So we building out a whole nother set. Like I told y'all before, I'm totally dedicated to this channel. I'm totally dedicated to y'all. And keep staying in tune with me. You know what I'm saying? Keep sticking with me. And we gonna make this channel. Like I get a lot of the, yo, Wayno, your platform should be bigger, but pause. But at the same time, you know what I mean? This platform that I'm building is being built. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't see exactly what it is while we on the foundation level. I feel like I'm on the foundation level with y'all. I talk with y'all, build with y'all, and I'm going to continue to do that. And for the ones that rock with me, you know how we do. And for the ones that don't, eventually you will. This is I do it myself. I catch y'all on Friday. Peace.